Hi students, good morning. Today we are going to learn the second chapter in economics, sectors of the Indian economy. An economy is very best to understood when we are classifying its components or sectors. On the basis of the different factors or criteria, we can classify the sectors into various sections. The primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector, organized sector, unorganized sector, the public sector, private sector, etc. were the examples. On the basis of the dependence on natural resources, the sectors can be divided into three. They were primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. Likewise, on the conditions of job, the sectors can be divided into two. They were organized sector and unorganized sector. On the basis of ownership of job institution, we can divide the sectors into two. They were the public sector and private sectors. We have to learn each of them in a detailed manner. First of all, we are going to discuss about primary sector. They are depending the natural resources directly. Therefore, it is also called as the agriculture sector. For example, cotton, dairy, fishing, etc. When the human life started on earth, the primary sector was also started. India is an agricultural country. In India, the agricultural system is traditional. Most of the people in India are engaged in their agricultural section, even though the majority of manpower is engaged in this activity, there is only a less productivity. So we have to check the features of primary sector. The main feature of primary sector is the unemployment. It is very common. Another feature is the underemployment. It is a situation where the people are apparently working, but all of them are made to work less than their potential. There is no any chance of earning. It is also known as the hidden unemployment and disclosed unemployment. Next one is the secondary sector. In this sector, the natural resources are depending indirectly. Here, the natural products are changed into the products, or it is forming in the way of manufacturing goods. So, it is also known as the manufacturing sector or the industrial sector. For example, the weaving of clothes. The next one is the tertiary sector. It helps in the development of primary and secondary sector. It is also called as the service sector. For example, the transport, communication, banking services, etc. Next, we have to check about how do we count the various goods and services and know the total production in each sector. As you know, these different sectors are contributing a lot to Indian economy. That is why we are counting these goods and services, and we must have to know the total production in each sector. For this, we are using the GDP. So, what is the GDP? I think you know it. It is the sum of the production of these three sectors. It is known as the gross domestic product or GDP. So, it is the value of all final goods and services produced within a country during a particular year. The GDP is also showing how big the economy is. The products from different sectors are closely related to one another. raw materials from primary sector is sending to the secondary sector. From this, the products are making and it is sending to the tertiary sector. So, adding the value or prices of these products is very difficult. Therefore, we cannot calculate the exact price of these goods and it is not accurate. Sometimes the same good may repeat one more times and the total expenditure will be very huge. Therefore, we are calculating the value of final goods and services alone. This is because the value of final goods already includes the value of all other goods. For example, while we are calculating the value of biscuits, we can put a 60 rupees for biscuit. But if we are calculating the separate values of wheat, the flour and other intermediate goods which are using for the production of biscuit, it may not be correct. That is why we are calculating the value of final goods and services for calculating the GDP. The primary sector is fully dependent on farming. There is no other means of life. But in the case of secondary sector, a lot of machines are introducing. It will help the fast growing of secondary sector. That is why a lot of people also shifted to the secondary sector and they produced varieties of goods. In the case of tertiary sector, the products from primary sector and also from the secondary sector need to distribute or sell. Then the need of transportation, the need of communication and other services is very essential. There is nothing to produce in tertiary sector, but they have to serve a lot. That is why the sudden change from other sectors to the tertiary sector is also essential. While analyzing these three sectors, we can conclude some more points. More population is depending upon the primary sector. The secondary sector is also developed a lot. A lot of industries and factories are established and it will take a lot of employees. But more contribution to GDP is from the tertiary sector. Rising importance of the tertiary sector in production. While analyzing the importance of tertiary sector in India, there are a lot of reasons resulted in its growth. First of all, in any country, the several services such as hospitals, the educational institutions, the post, the telegraph service, etc. are required. Therefore, all these can be considered as the basic services. In a developing country, the government has to take the responsibility for the provision of these services. Secondly, the development of agriculture and industry led to the development of services such as transport, trade, storage, etc. The next one, as income level rise, certain sections of people also start demanding many more services like the eating from outside, the tourism, the shopping, private hospitals, private schools, professional training, etc. The fourth reason is that when the years passed away, the importance of information and communication technology become more important and essential. In short, the service sector have more importance than that of any other sectors in India. The next main topic is how to create more employment. The government can spend some more money or bank can provide some more loans to construct a well for family or to irrigate the land. So, if the government and banks are alerting about the development of people, it will create more and more employment. In the case of farmers, the government must invest some more money for arranging the transportation facilities and also for making some more storages to the storage of crops and also for making better rural roads. Then some more people may ready to come forward to do this work. The central government of India made a law implementing the right to work in 625 districts of India. It is also called the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Development Guarantee Act of 2005. Under this act, all those who are able to and are in need of work are guaranteed 100 days of employment in a year by the government. If the government falls in its duty to provide employment, it will give unemployment allowances to the people. These types of works that would in future have to increase the production from land will be given preference under this act. On the basis of the conditions of job, the economic sector is divided into two. They were the organized sector and unorganized sector. There are some features in organized sector. Some of them were it is a regular and permanent job sector. It is providing the secure job. It is also providing the medical allowances, the old age allowances or pension, and also it is providing the paid holidays. A lot of rules and regulations are working related with the organized sector. Likewise, the second category is the unorganized sector. This is a casual or temporary sector. It provides the insecure jobs. There is no medical allowances, no pension, no paid holidays in this section. The irregular salary is the main feature of unorganized sector. The methods to support the unorganized sector. The unorganized sector can fix fair wages. It can regulate a time schedule. It can also arrange the raw materials at an affordable price. The unorganized sector can support to get adequate tools and equipments at lower prices. It needs to ensure the social and economic status against the discrimination. On the basis of the ownership, there is also two sectors. First one is the public sector and second one is the private sector. What is the public sector? The public sector is owned and run by the government. It delivers service by the government. It has only less expensive or free of cost service. The second one is the private sector. It is owned and operated by the individuals. It is mainly running to earn profit. It is an expensive one. The role of public sector in national development. The public sector is spending its time, money, etc. on education and healthcare. It is also encouraging the private sector by providing the basic facilities. For example, in the case of electricity, the government is bearing a part of the cost of electricity for private sectors. Now our chapter is over. I hope all of you understood this chapter very well. Thank you. Thank you for bye.